In the following video, we are going to talk about a financial news. We choose 7 charts comparing the current state of the US economy to that under the Trump administration. The group members are Cristian Manuel Álvarez Galván, Mica Natalia Gómez Díaz, Jennifer Pérez de la Hoz, César Andrés Llanes Trujillo, and Javier Andrés Velázquez Padilla.
Economic growth outlined the impact of the COVID pandemic makes comparison difficult. Both presidents have shown notable economic results. Even though was have a better liquid while recent peace and recent years. Okay, bueno, first let's look at economic growth using gross domestic production, abbreviated GDP, the bulk of the all goods and the service in the U.S. economy. During COVID, there was a dramatic drop in the GDP as many businesses and the companies were forced to close their doors. After the pandemic, the economy rebounded strongly under Trump and did much better than many other Western countries. These have continued under Bint. They use have degenerated the stronger pandemic recovery with hit 7 as mounted by GDP growth that. Thank you.
Now the inflation chart. The pace at which price rise has been a big problem for the Democratic campaign. Price rose significantly during Biden's first 2 years, peaking at 9.1% in June 2022. Trump has said the US has experienced the worst inflation it's ever had, but that's not true. Inflation was last above 9% in 1981 and has been much higher than at several other points in US history. Inflation has now fallen to around 3% but remains higher than when Trump left office. Food prices, for example, rose 13.5% during the year ending August 2022. This was the highest point under the Biden's administration. Prices have since stabilized with food costs rising 1.1% between July 2023 and July this year. This recent trend is comparable to many other Western countries that experienced high inflation rates in 2021 and 2022 as global supply chain issues driven by COVID and the war in Ukraine influenced price increases. But some economists say the American Rescue Plan, Biden's 1.9 trillion program passed in 2021, was also a key factor as the injection of money into the economy increased prices.
Administration had repeatedly highlighted strong job growth as a major achievement of its tenure. Before the massive COVID-related job losses of 2020, nearly 6 jobs were added in the first 3 years of Trump's presidency, according to non-farm payrolls data, which cover about 80% of jobs labor force. Since the Biden administration took office in January 2021, the United States has seen an increase of nearly 60 million jobs. Biden claims this is the fastest growth of anything under president in the entire history of the United States. That is correct. Based on the data available, these records began in the 1939 but the Democratic administration has benefited from a strong rebound in economic activity as the country began to emerge from lockdowns stemming from the pandemic. Many of the jobs would have returned had Trump won in 1990, but the American Recovery Plan played a major role in the speed and aggressiveness of the labor market recovery, said Professor Mark Stein, an economist of Georgetown University. This plan passed under Biden administration in 1992 was designed to help stimulate the economy after pandemic. Weaker than expected job growth in the July raised fears of the sudden recession in the U.S. economy and markets, which were hit as a result but have since stabilized. Administration have pointed to low unemployment levels during their years in power. Before the pandemic, Trump had a 3.5% unemployment rate, as in many parts of the world, COVID lockdown measures led to recent unemployment levels, which were around 7% when Trump's presidency ended. Under the Biden administration, unemployment continued to decline to a low of 3.4% in January 2023, the lowest rate in more than 50 years, but has since risen to 4.3%.
Wages. In terms of wages during Trump's presidency, there was an increase at a rate similar to that of its predecessor Barack Obama, until the pandemic hit wages rising in the year 2020. During the COVID pandemic, but the sudden increase in wages is related to the fact that lower paid workers were more likely to be light of wages increase. The average wage of 12 states employed during Biden's presidency average wages have grown, but they have struggled to keep up with resident prices, caused by high levels of inflation. Was adjusted for inflation, average wages are lower than when Biden long office.
The U.S. stock market isn't necessarily a reflection of the broader economy, but many Americans have instruments there, so their performance has some significance. The Dow Jones Index is a measure of the performance of 30 large companies listed on the U.S. Stock Exchange. The market hit record during Trump's presidency, but crashed as markets react to the pandemic, wiping off all gains made during the Republican term. However, financial markets really above pre-pandemic levels when Trump left office in January 2021. Stock market growth has been on the rise under Biden's presidency, and while there have been recent swings, stock markets have also reached record levels under his administration.